So now's the time to tell you the story of my trip from Istanbul to Göreme. I booked on KAMIL.KOH, which is the local bus company, and frankly, I wouldn't recommend it. What happened was we drove for an hour outside Istanbul. We left at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and the bus an hour later stopped at a rest stop. So, thinking that we've got an 11-hour trip, I then decided that I needed to go to the loo, jumped off the bus, went to the loo, went to get a bottle of water, went back to the car park where the bus was parked, and the bus had left me stranded. My luggage, my passport, everything was on the bus, and I was frantic. Anyway, I got to the office, and they say to me, "Oh, we'll put you on a bus that you can catch up at the next stop." So I said, "Fine." That sounded like an option. Okay, so I jumped on. They put me on another bus, and it drove an hour and got to the next stop, and lo and behold, the bus had left again. So I was stranded in the middle of nowhere, at a bus station without any way of getting to Göreme, which was like 10 hours away. Fortunately, two ladies who spoke English were so amazing. They arranged for me to get onto another bus company, which cost me another 1200 TL, that's Turkish lira. And at that time, I was desperate enough to just do anything. So I paid the $1,200, not $1,200, 1,200 Turkish lira, got onto the second bus, drove through the night. They drove through the night and got me to a place called Aksaka. Got off at Aksaka, and I had to get a second bus from Aksa to Göreme, which I did. And of course, I just gave them a backhand of 300 Turkish lira. They put me on a KAMIL.KOH bus that was going to Göreme, and I finally got here a few hours late, but I got here anyway. My point here is that as a bus company, KAMIL.KOH has a responsibility to the people that they're transporting to make sure everybody is on the bus. They need to do a head count. They don't just take off and say, "Oh, tough shit, he's not on the bus, we're just going to leave him behind." There's no duty of care. So when you're getting on a bus, do not book KAMIL.KOH. The second bus I got onto had a steward, and he had a trolley, and he had coffee and tea and water and snacks, and which they were giving to the passengers throughout. No such luck on KAMIL.KOH, even though they are reasonably expensive. So my situation was that I took the wrong bus. I took the wrong company. I actually booked on the wrong company. So my recommendation is, do not use KAMIL.KOH as a transportation mechanism to get from Istanbul to Göreme, because they will just leave you stranded. Okay, now I've got to go through the whole process of getting a refund from Flixbus. They've asked for my ticket. They've asked for the reason that I got left behind. And KAMIL.KOH had the audacity to say it was my fault that I got left behind. Anyway, I got to Göreme and had to then search for my luggage, because my luggage was on the original bus that had left me behind. Finally, after a whole lot of wrangling, found my luggage, which was sitting outside on the pavement in the heat with no security. Okay, anybody could have just grabbed my luggage and walked off with it. Fortunately, it looks, the Turkish people are fairly honest in their dealings. So that was my story. My recommendation is do not use KAMIL.KOH as a provider for your bus trip between Istanbul and Göreme.